two new eras also began over the weekend at Fraher Field in Waterford. Davy Fitzgerald's second coming with Waterford, and Micheál Donahue's era with Dublin. And the opening game between the two of these sides finished Waterford 2-19, Dublin 3-16. And for Dublin, I mean, talk about, they almost, instead of lulling us into, positivity, they almost lulled us into negativity. Waterford, blew us out of the traps there in the first few minutes, going, I think, what was it, 1-4 to no score ahead. And then all of a sudden, Dublin just found a lease of life. Cian O'Sullivan, burst into life in the full forward line with Alex Considine. Two of them look fantastic. It ends up being a draw. Donald Burke at the last minute free to get that draw. I'm pretty happy as a Dublin fan with that. I think considering the turnover, the squad, the likes of Chris Crummy, Liam Rush gone, obviously Sutcliffe wasn't there. I'm happy enough that we got that result.
Yeah, look, this was an absolutely bizarre game. It had absolutely everything. And like you talk about there, the early black card, the early goal for Waterford. And then, look, I think the first 15 minutes was absolute car crash from Dublin, and that they couldn't get on any ball whatsoever. And to bounce back and get in level at half time after those first 15 minutes was absolutely insane, I suppose. And that, I think, Waterford will probably, they looked like they could have been a good bit sharper than what they were because it wasn't fully clicking for them as well. But at the same time, it was a very, very entertaining, particularly second half, very, very entertaining game as well. Just to briefly start on as well, like you mentioned there, the two-man full forward line of O'Sullivan and Constantine looked absolutely electric. And that's the big positive, I think, for Dublin is the last couple of years is that like the full forward line just haven't been scoring enough. And the two of them, I suppose, they weren't starting last year as well. Look, we know all about O'Sullivan, that he's been plagued with injuries a little bit as well. But if we can get the two of them in there as well, maybe that might free up Ronan Hayes to play out the field a bit more where he can be a puck-out threat as well. If you can go with the two of them inside, they look really, really dynamic. And look, they're definitely going to be a threat going forward as well. And that was the underrated aspect of that is that the players they were up against there were Conor Gleeson and Conor Prunty. And like that was the one of the games that I've seen Prunty in the most amount of trouble as well. He looked like all over the place at times, that he really, really struggled with O'Sullivan. And particularly like in the first half when O'Sullivan played, like he seemed to have Prunty all over the place, and I've very rarely seen that as well. So that is encouraging from a Dublin perspective. Keane Boland coming back in there as well is a big plus too. But look, it's the same kind of issues I think facing Dublin is that they need to find a midfield. And that's going to be the challenge going forward. And look, briefly as well to say, despite all the issues they faced as well, they played the last 15 minutes with two extra men and they went into that period level. So look, they will be disappointed not to get the result. But at the end of the day, like you talk about what's the league and everything as well. I don't think this will be a result that will be living too long in Micheál Donahue's memory as something that's going to drive him nuts, I think.
Yeah, no, I think definitely when you're looking at it, if you had said to me you're going to draw on Fraher Field at the start, I would have, been delighted with that. But considering we had two extra men on the field and we were level going into those last couple of minutes, it is a little bit disappointing that we didn't get the victory. But then again, put it into context, going away to a Waterford side with Davy Fitz notorious for, getting a response out of his team straight away. I mean, I'll take that for sure. For Waterford on the flip side, two red cards. I don't think you can argue with either of them. Jack Fagan's obviously was two yellows and Stephen Bennett's was a straight red for, a bit of a weird punch on one of the Dublin defenders. But I don't think that they can argue with either of them. They'll surely be disappointed not getting a victory in this game.
Yeah, I think they probably will. Like that, look at home as well, I suppose, and that look the start that they had. I think Ruben Halloran had a great chance for a goal, and that goes in. That would have been, I think, 5 to 2 points. And at that stage, look, it's definitely game over as well. Like quickly to touch on the red cards. Look, the Fagan one, it was the pull down which led to the penalty as well. So look, I don't.
What a catch by Keane Boland to set that up.
Yeah, no, look, it was great play, and now look, he was a really good addition in there as well, deserving of his man of the match. And but look, he can't have any complaints about that Fagan, I don't think. And then look, the Bennett one was a real bizarre one, I suppose. That there was no intention whatsoever, but he did whack him in the face anyway as well. So I think that look, I don't even the little bit of a melee that kind of came after it as well. I think you saw the Dublin players as well knew themselves that he didn't mean it, but look, he one of those that it's unfortunate for him, but he had to go anyway. So look, it'll be interesting for Waterford now. They'll be without Bennett for the next day now, so they'll need somebody else in the freeze as well taking over. So it'll be interesting to watch.
And obviously, Pádraig Mahony's retired.
Yep, yeah. So look, I think it gives an opportunity. Whether they might give Pádraig Fitzgerald a shot anyway as well. Looks to be a really, really good player come through as well. They'll give him a run to freeze the next day because he's been tipped to do so for a while now. But that's the thing, is that I think Waterford would be they'll be quite happy though with the reaction though in that situation to find themselves with 50 minutes to go. Ozzy came on and looked absolutely brilliant as well. That he I suppose he kind of dragged them over the line to getting a result, I suppose, on his own for a little bit in stages there at the end as well. So look, I think they'll be happy as well when the big guns came on, that they managed to keep a semblance of control over the game, even despite the two-man deficit as well. So look, it was just very, very entertaining game. And look, I think both teams would just be happy with the run out they've got. And look, Dublin, they could have won the game, but based on how they started that game, to get any sort of result out of it, I think they won't be too upset about it with plenty of new faces.